on in for the Star-Spangled Banner Weekend edition of the Alabama Racer. My name is Jim Jacobs, and it's my honor each and every week to drive this program right to you so you know what's happening in the world of motorsports across the great state of Alabama. And boy, we have got a jam-packed show for you this week, so we're not going to waste any time getting started. We'll get underway in just a couple of minutes when we drop the green flag on the program as Cole Daffron, a young pro late model driver from Pell City, joins me right here in the studio. Later on in the show, well, we're going to visit on the phone with Adam Stewart, who is the competition director for the NeSmith Late Model Series, well, actually the entire NeSmith Series, and they are making a big three-day swing through East Alabama at some of the state's premier dirt track facilities this weekend. And we'll also, of course, cover the racing calendar, let you know what's happening in the world of motorsports across Alabama for the Independence Day celebration. And of course, we're going to talk about something that everybody's been talking about. If you can call it a fight, well, we've got a little bit of a twist on it for you this weekend. That's on the way as well. We got to take a break, take care of some sponsors, and when we come back, we'll get things started with Cole Daffron. That is straight ahead when the Alabama Racer goes green. We're underway next.
VP Racing Fuels introduces Madditives, fuel additives developed by the mad scientists. Race fuel technology for your daily driver.
VP Racing Fuels and Additives are available at Green Oil Company of Oxford.
Anniston Storage is one of the area's finest household and commercial storage facilities. Fenced, well lit with security cameras, this multi-unit facility can meet all of your short or long-term storage needs. Anniston Storage is safely accessible 24 hours with an electric gate and keypad entry, each unit securely locked to protect your valuables. Sizes available are 10 by 10 up to 10 by 40 feet. We also offer outside storage for boats, campers, trailers, or motorhomes. Find everything you need at our website, AnnistonStorage.com. You can even reserve your unit and pay your bill. Anniston Storage, 3100 Red Morris Parkway in Anniston.
Spring is finally here. If you're looking for a new car, truck, or SUV,
or just want something more dependable that's affordable to drive,
then come see us at Avery Auto Sales of Anniston, 410 South Quintard Avenue, home of certified cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Don't pay high new car prices. Come see us at Avery Auto Sales in Oxford on Highway 78.
we even can offer an additional 100,000-mile certified warranty.
And yes, we can get you financed even if you have poor credit.
Spring into Avery Auto Sales on Highway 78 in Oxford and our new location on Quintard in Anniston.
Folks, the team at Bucks Island wants to be your boat dealer. We have a huge selection of bass boats, fishing boats, sport boats, and lots of pontoon boats. We have warehouse pricing on all those boats with a price match guarantee. Nobody beats our price. Choose your dealer carefully, just as carefully as you choose your boat. At Bucks Island, we'll treat you like we want to be treated. Come see us.
Welcome back to the Alabama Racer, brought to you by Green Oil Company, your local VP Racing Fuels and Additives distributor. Jim Jacobs here, along with another special in-studio guest this week. Got him out of his pro late model long enough to get him across the bridge from Pell City, Cole Daffron. Welcome to the Alabama Racer. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Boy, tell you what, we got a lot to talk about from this past weekend for you, but first I want to start with, for folks that don't know anything about you, you just graduated high school in May, but you've been racing quite a while, haven't you?
Oh, yes, sir. I think we started in 2007 in go-karts. My dad took me over there, and we went the next week and bought our first go-kart, actually.
So now, was this at the Raceway Park at the short track?
Talladega short track, yes, sir.
Okay. So what class did you start in? Did you start with some of the smaller karts, or did you jump right in?
They call it a champ. It's a blue plate flathead.
Mm-hmm.
And we raced that for 2 years, and then we bought our first flat kart.
Flat kart.
Yes, okay. Sir. It's the ones without the roll cages.
It's the ones you don't want to get upside down in, right?
Yes, sir.
So what was that like for you?
Oh, it was definitely a learning experience. I remember the first night out, I was very nervous.
Yeah.
It's just, I didn't want to go out there and spin out, I guess. It was very weird. I had never really had a go-kart before.
Right.
And it was fun. It was definitely a learning curve.
When you did that for the first time, or maybe the first 2 or 3 times. Did you know you had the bug at that point? I mean, were you just so into it, or was it more your dad being into it and you just kind of going along because it was kind of fun?
Oh, I liked it from the get-go. First time I got strapped in, I liked it.
Yeah. How long did it take you to get a win?
It's about second race.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
You sound like Brody. Now, had you done anything in life that had kind of prepared you to go out and drive a go-kart and start racing?
I had about a year before that, or 2 years before that, I had a thing we called Junkyard Dog over at my papa's salvage yard. That it was like a little mini truck looking thing, like an RC. And Dad would get in the right side and I would drive him around the junkyard up there.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of what kind of got it all started, tooling around the salvage yard.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Now, you did the go-karts for 2 or 3 years, so that would have taken us to about, what, 11 or 12?
Yes, sir, and about 2012 was our last year. We went 2009, I was a national champion, and then 2009, 10, 11, and 12, we were Alabama, Mississippi, and Twin State champions, and Maxis. And then in 2012, we ended that and got a Pro Challenge truck.
Now, we'll get to the truck in just a second. So for people that don't follow exactly what Cole just told us, this wasn't just a Friday night thing at the Raceway Park for you. You guys started traveling all over racing, didn't you?
Yes, sir. We started in 2009, actually. We started traveling to Mississippi, anywhere from Mississippi all the way up past North Carolina, at the top of North Carolina, all in the southeast.
Was it all dirt or was some of it asphalt?
It was all dirt at that point.
Yeah. So you graduated from karts to what?
To the Pro Challenge truck on asphalt.
Okay. Tell me what the Pro Challenge truck is.
It's a little 3/4 scale racing truck with a Kawasaki Ninja motor in it, like a bike motor. Mm-hmm. And we run on anywhere from 3/8 to half-mile tracks on asphalt.
Now, did you travel a lot with that, or where'd you race? Because I mean, there's not really an asphalt track around here. So where'd you go race?
There was one in Grand Bay, Alabama, was our main track, but there's some in South Georgia and Central Georgia that we went to.
Man, that's a long way from Pell City to have a hobby.
Yes, sir.
So how long did you do the Pro Truck?
We done that for 2 years.
Okay, so that puts you to about what, your 10th grade year at high school?
Yes, sir.
Then what'd you do?
We went to dirt late models, crate late models.
Yeah, and that's where I first met you, was out at the short track when you had your crate late model.
Yes, sir.
Now, how did that work out for you?
That went very well. It was another big learning experience, getting sideways and keeping control. But we raced that, and that was a very good learning experience. It helps a lot on asphalt.
I'm curious, Cole. Most people would go from the trucks to something else in asphalt. What brought you back to dirt?
Trying to get where whenever you get on wore out tires on asphalt and you start getting loose, it helps maintain control better whenever you start getting loose on older tires.
What got you, who gave you that advice? I mean, where did that direction come from?
Stacy Holmes.
Yeah, I figured. Car control, right?
Yes, sir. It's all about car control.
So you guys did the crate late models for what, 3 years?
We've done it for 2 years.
2 years,
yes,
okay. And now you've got a pro late model, is that right?
Yes, sir, pro late model.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about that and what Cole has been doing with the pro late model car. And you've had it, what, a year?
We've had it for a year. We've been putting it together for about 6 or 7 months, and we finally got it together at the beginning of this year.
Right. I know your first race was what, Montgomery?
Montgomery.
Yeah, and you did pretty well, too, from what I recall. All right, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about where Cole is going, and we're going to talk about a nickname, Coyote. We're going to figure out where that came from after we take this quick time out. Right here on the Alabama Racer. Stay close. More with Cole Daffron is straight ahead.
VP Racing Fuels introduces Madditives, fuel additives developed by the mad scientists. Race fuel technology for your daily driver.
VP Racing Fuels and Additives are available at Green Oil Company of Oxford.
Need a place to keep your tools?
Or a place to get away from the wife. Whatever your needs are, we got a barn or a carport for you.
With rent-to-own options and no credit checks, we can help you take home the right barn or carport today.
And with 4 different locations, we're just a short drive away.
So come see us in Glencoe, Moody, Asheville, or Attala, and let our family help your family get the barn or carport you deserve.
The tire, arguably the most important part of a car. Without it, we could not stop, we could not go, we couldn't drive at all. They come in all sizes, brands, treads, prices, and ratings. How do you know which is the right tire for you? Thankfully, there's Cobb Automotive, and they have been answering this question since 1981. With a large selection of brands and sizes in stock, you are sure to get the right tire for the right price. Cobb Automotive, located on Highway 21 across from Walmart in Oxford, and 2001 Quintard Avenue in Anniston.
Welcome back to the Alabama Racer and our special guest in studio this week, Pell City's Cole Daffron, who drives the Pro Late Model number 7 on series all across the Southeast. And in fact, you just wrapped up a pretty good weekend down in South Alabama and the Florida Panhandle. Tell us about it.
Yes, sir. We went Thursday night, practiced at Pensacola, Five Flags.
Right. Now that's where they have the snowball, right?
It's a snowball.
Yep.
Yes, sir. And then we practiced, we were 5th fastest Thursday night. And then we rolled over into Friday night for the race. We qualified 16th. We had a little trouble in qualifying, and the race started. The car was really good. We came all the way to 8th by the end of the first 50 laps.
Right. They had a twin 50 lap this weekend at Five Flags, or this past weekend at Five Flags, and then again over in Mobile, which we're going to talk about in a minute, on Saturday night. So go ahead.
Yes, sir. And then the second 50, the car was really good for about the first half of the race. And I think I wore out my tires trying to get around some of the guys on the outside. And about the last 25 laps, the tires went away and we lost a couple of spots and ended up 12th for the night.
So, that brings up a good point, Cole. You hear guys, especially on some of the NASCAR telecasts, talk about, well, he's used up his tires. Well, what's that feel like for a driver, and how important is learning to maintain tire wear in that type of racing?
Maintaining tire wear is your biggest key on asphalt. That's pretty much the only adjustment you have. And if you don't save your tires, your right front will get really hot. And then if you spin coming off the corner, your rear tires will get really hot, and it'll make you very loose. You will not have any forward drive coming off the corner, which means you will not be able to get off the corner fast enough.
So how does a driver save his tires? What do you do?
You back your corners up and then get on the throttle later coming off of the corner.
So you roll in more.
You roll.
And then you don't accelerate as early.
Yes, sir.
So you don't spin the tires. Now, how do you protect the right front?
Not using brakes as much. You try to roll through the corner. You don't get on the brakes really hard and load the right front really hard. Because,
folks, if you think about it, when you're going into a corner, it's straight away left. Well, if you get on the brakes, that's going to load up that right front tire. And when you do that, that's what he's talking about, is that tire gets hot, especially the outside beads on that tire. And once they get hot, they won't grip.
They will not.
Because, and it's really, unless you really think about it, it's kind of hard to follow what drivers and commentators are talking about when they talk about using up their tires. But even though the tire's not flat and the tire's not wore out, you'll also hear things like, well, we let the tires cool off. And again, that's about some of that management stuff you were talking about, right?
Yes, sir.
And then the tire will kind of come back to you once it cools down a little bit.
Even if you have a caution, people say that just drive straight, don't weave, don't try to knock the gravel off your tires. You want to cool them down, but it really takes the end of that race and then waiting for the second race, if there is a second race, to get it to come back, cool off enough to come back.
Wow, I'm not surprised. So you had a decent night at Five Flags, then you load up and you guys head over to Mobile.
Yes, sir.
Talk about Saturday night.
Saturday night was our first night at Mobile.
You'd never been there, had you?
Never. I've been there to watch races, but never been on the track.
Yeah. It's an interesting place.
It is. It's very interesting.
Very worn out as far as the asphalt goes, I think. So tell me about your two features at Mobile.
The first feature, we qualified 10th, which was very well for our first time there.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the race went on, I got the hang of the track, got the corners down pat, came all the way to 7th. And then the second race, we had enough tire left, and we ended up finishing 5th.
So that's a pretty good night.
Yes,
7th and a 5th?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, that might have paid for the tires.
Might have.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Boy, folks just don't realize how expensive it is when you go to the racetrack and you travel and you got to buy tires, and then of course the cars themselves, they're not cheap, and especially once you get up into the pro late model arena. So, what made you decide, you and your dad, that you wanted to do the pro late models? Was that just the next step for you instead of doing super late models, say on dirt? I mean, what made you go that way versus this way?
If we wanted to get anywhere farther, that we had to go then because of my age. And now that we're here, I think it was a very good choice. Mm-hmm. I think a dirt another year would have hurt us more, and moving on was a better step.
How comfortable are you in the pro late model car now?
I'm getting very comfortable. It's coming to me.
Yeah. Where do you see it going? I mean, where would you like to be in another couple of years with the pro late model program?
Our plan is to run next year a full pro late model, and we're going to try and run some K&N series races next year, mm-hmm. and then the following year try and run a full K&N series.
Now, once you start getting up into the K&N type cars, we're talking some serious bank, right?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing to get noticed by the people that can put you in the best equipment?
Social media. We got a guy in North Carolina that we're working with right now. Mm-hmm. Getting us up some sponsors, getting some stuff like that. We need some big sponsors.
Yeah, it's all about sponsors. Folks, I don't care what you're doing. If you're doing this show or any other type of racing thing, you got to have sponsors. You can only go so far out of your back pocket, right? I mean, you know, there's one saying in racing that is really true, and I've never heard anybody that's had anything to do with the sport that didn't agree with this. Racing is the fastest way to make a small fortune out of a big fortune. You can do it in a hurry, and that's why you've got to get noticed. And you know, Cole, a lot of people don't realize how narrow the window is because kids are starting so much younger nowadays, and you've got kids that are, you know, 14, 15, 16 years old that are already in Cup program development plans.
Yes, sir.
So you gotta kind of push the envelope really to make something happen, don't you?
You have to. There's no choice. If you're going to make it far, you got to start early and get there.
Is that an aspiration for you, or do you just want to do it until you just can't do it anymore?
Oh, it's an aspiration for sure.
Yeah. So you really hope to get noticed and be able to move on to somebody's program.
Yes, sir. Hopefully.
Okay. Where'd the 7 come from on the car? Has that just always been your number, or because I mean you've got a unique font style to it, and we'll put it up on the screen here so you can see it, folks. But his car is really a good-looking race car.
Thank you. I've always had number 7 ever since the second go-kart we ever had it's been 7 ever since.
Yeah, 7 ever since. Now, do you have anybody helping you now other than your dad as far as you're paying for your program or anything like that? Do you have any sponsors?
Dad's doing the most part, and then Stacy Holmes and Bert Holmes, they're doing like shocks and setup and stuff like that, but that's really our only backing right now.
Well, I'm telling you, you couldn't have better folks to help you than Stacy and Brett. They're good people, and they know what they're doing, which is, you know, testament to what they've been able to accomplish moving up into ARCA this year. So,
it is.
Do you? What made you think K&N versus maybe ARCA?
the way we were looking at it, the K&N is more fundable, and we're seeing more people get noticed in K&N than we are ARCA at this point.
Interesting. All right, let's talk about some personal stuff. Where'd the nickname come from? Coyote Cole.
Coyote Cole. That came from the old show Coyote and Roadrunner.
Beep beep.
Yep.
So, who gave it to you? Where'd you get it from?
My dad named me that.
Did your dad do that to you?
My dad done that to me.
Not only did he name you Coyote Cole, he named you Cole
from Days of Thunder,
Cole Trickle. Well, if you turn out like Tom Cruise, he can take credit.
I guess so.
But if not, well, maybe that's another story.
Yeah.
In doing, progressing through high school and all, did you do anything other than race? I mean, did you play any sports, or or was it racing tunnel vision?
It was racing tunnel vision. You spend so much time in the shop that you don't have any more time for sports or any more activities.
Now, I remember giving Brett Holmes a little bit of a hard time on social media over the weekend because there was a picture posted where, while you guys were down on the coast this weekend, him and a buddy were out on a boat fishing. And I told him, I said, man, that's not racing. And he said, everybody needs a day off.
I took Sunday off. I went fishing too.
Did you go fishing? I hope you caught something bigger than they did.
Oh, yes, sir.
It was like bait fish. They're holding up bait fish for saltwater fishing.
Yeah.
But a lot of fun. Well, listen, we wish you nothing but success. You've gotten off to a really great start. What's your schedule look like with the Pro Late model the rest of 2016? What are you going to be doing?
2016, we're probably going to be Mobile. There's another race in Mobile they just scheduled, and Pensacola and Montgomery.
You going to do the snowball?
Snowball. It's Snowflake.
You're going to do the snowflake?
I'm going to do the snowflake.
Okay. So what would it take to do the snowball? Is that like a super late?
It's a super.
Yeah, that's the big motor car,
big
right?
Motors.
That's what Brett does.
Brett does both of them.
Well, he does pro and
super.
Yeah. But you're just in the Pro Late model series right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you see maybe stepping that up, or you just thinking straight from Pro Late model on into the K&N thing?
There might be a couple races in there we might try, but mainly just K&N.
Man, I'm telling you, that snowball derby, that thing is huge.
Oh, yes, sir.
You've been down there for that, I would imagine.
We've been down there the past couple of years watching.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about getting noticed. Eric Jones, the Nemechek kid. I mean, all of them. Snowball derby, man. I mean, that's the race. Well, listen, Cole, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming over. Congratulations on the success and continued success for you, and hopefully your dad named you Cole for a reason.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into the racing calendar, look back at what happened this past weekend on tracks across the state. Unfortunately, Mother Nature got them several places, especially up at Huntsville over this past weekend. And we'll look ahead to this weekend as we head into the 4th of July holiday weekend. Lots of racing on the calendar. We'll get to that when we continue right here on the Alabama Racer. Don't you go anywhere. Stay close.
Daffron Auto Salvage in Pell City is where you'll find over 30 acres of automotive salvage, plus a warehouse full of quality parts for almost any need. Just call ahead and tell us what you're looking for. At Daffron Auto Salvage, you'll find it all. Engine parts, transmissions, rear ends, radiators, suspension, body parts, auto glass, even tires and wheels. You'll also get fast, friendly service. It's been that way since 1965. Don't pay too much for parts. Think used first. Daffron Auto Salvage, 793 Old Cold City Road in Pell City.
Folks, the team at Bucks Island wants to be your boat dealer. We have a huge selection of bass boats, fishing boats, sport boats, and lots of pontoon boats. We have warehouse pricing on all those boats with a price match guarantee. Nobody beats our price. Choose your dealer carefully, just as carefully as you choose your boat. At Bucks Island, we'll treat you like we want to be treated. Come see us.
Welcome back to the show. You might ask yourself, well, what's Jim doing standing there with this can of stuff? Well, this can of stuff is some mighty powerful stuff. If you are A person who does a lot of yard work, you know what it's like to try to do the 2-cycle engine oil type thing for your chainsaws, your weed eaters, and things like that, even your blowers. Well, this right here is something you need to put into your arsenal because this stuff makes a difference. I got my first can from Tony and the guys over at Green Oil Company the other day, and man, my weed eater came to life. This is actually VP 50-to-1 2-cycle fuel. It's got everything in it you need. You just pour it in the gas tank on your device and, well, you fire that bad boy up, and just like in race cars, you'll see an immediate difference. So make sure you stop by and get some of this stuff today at Green Oil, and make sure that you tell them you heard about it right here with me on the Alabama Racer. We've got to get to the racing calendar, find out what's happening in motorsports for the big Independence Weekend celebration around the state. So here we go.
Let's kick off the racing calendar this week by covering the 3-track East Alabama swing for the NeSmith Racing Series. Salute to America Nationals this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It kicks off tomorrow night with the Freedom 40 NeSmith Late Model Touring Series $2,000 to win feature at Talladega Short Track. With all other divisions in action, grandstand admission is just $15 for adults, with kids 9 and under admitted free. On Saturday, the tour travels south from Talladega to Penton Raceway for the Independence 40 NeSmith Late Model Touring Series $2,000 to win feature, plus other local divisions in action. The 3-day swing concludes Sunday at East Alabama Motor Speedway on Highway 80 in Phoenix City with the Salute to America 50-lap $2,500 to win NeSmith Late Model Touring Series feature, plus you'll see all other classes in action. The gates at EAMS opens at 5, 4 Central with grandstand admission $18. Kids 10 and under are admitted free, and there will be a water slide on the premises for the kids. Now, if you want your independence celebration on asphalt, then you need to head to the capital city to Montgomery Motor Speedway Saturday for the Show Me the Money Pro Late Model 75-lap shootout. It pays $3,000 to grab the checkered flag. Stuntman Ricky Hardcore will thrill fans of all ages as well. You'll also see late model sportsmen, street stocks, modified minis. There will be a candy drop for the kids and a giant fireworks show. The gates open at 5 o'clock with qualifying getting underway at 6 o'clock. Racing takes the green flag at 7. Tickets are $15 for adults, $10 for seniors and military, and $5 for kids ages 6 to 12. 5 and under are always free. It's mid-season championship night Saturday at Sayre Speedway with a 50-lap feature on tap for the open-wheel modified, the modified minis, and street stock. They'll run 20-lap features in Buzz, Renegade, and modified lights. The first 50 kids get free American flags, plus there will be an autograph session with the street stock and Buzz drivers at the track. Practice starts at 6 o'clock, qualifying at 7, and they'll be racing at Sayre at 8 o'clock. It's Kids Night this Saturday at Huntsville Speedway, so bring your big wheel, bikes, or power wheels. Trophies will be handed out to all the young winners with safety equipment required to participate. You can check out the track's website for all those details. There's racing in classes with the trucks headlining in a 50-lap feature. You'll also see sportsmen, street stock, mini modifieds, hot shots, amateur, and pro buzz in action. The gates at Huntsville Speedway will open at 4 o'clock with racing at 7. There will also be a huge fireworks show at the track. It's double points this Saturday night at Shelby County Speedway in Wilsonville. There'll be mid-season prize awards to all points leaders. All classes will be in action. Hot laps get underway at Shelby County at 6:30. There are several tracks around the state taking the weekend off because of the holidays, including South Alabama, Mobile, Fort Payne, Talladega Raceway Park, and Holiday Dragway, with almost all of them returning to action of some type next weekend.
Now, if you didn't see anything about your racetrack on the Alabama Racers racing calendar this week, well, if you're a promoter or a track owner, that's on you, because it is an absolutely free service from us to any racetrack in the state of Alabama. We don't care what you race. Bicycles, motocross, drag strips, of course, stock cars, whatever you do, if you race, we want to tell the state about it right here each and every week. All you have to do is email us your information. Here's the address right here on the screen, the Alabama Racer at fnnnetwork.com. Send us your race results, who finished where. We'd like to have winners' photos if you have those available. Of course, action shots, your photographs from the weekly racing program, and any video that you can send us also enhances what we can show the fans about your facility. The folks up at Huntsville Speedway do a really nice job getting us some really high quality video of their action each and every week. Now all you have to do is get that to us so we have it in time to get it on Thursday's show at 8 o'clock. Now, we've got to grab a quick break, but before we go to break, I want to tell you about a brand new sponsor that's on board with the Alabama Racer. It's the good folks up at Bucks Island Marine. They're located on Highway 77 in Southside, Alabama. It's just across the bridge on Highway 77 as you're headed north toward Gadsden, if you know where that is, right across the lake. You can give them a call if you're interested in any type of boats. They've got them, man, and they've got great deals. They do parts, they do service. It is a huge facility, and they are really good people. They've been in business a very long time in this part of the state, and they take good care of their customers, which is testament to why they've been in business so long. 1-800-I'm-READY is the phone number, or you can check them out online at bucksisland.com, and we'll be telling you more about them in the coming weeks right here on the Alabama Racer. We've got to duck in for some gasoline. When we come back, we'll jump on the phone and talk with Adam Stewart. He is the competition director for the NeSmith Racing Series, and they have a busy swing through the state this weekend, starting tomorrow night at Talladega Short Track. I'll tell you all about that when we talk to Adam straight ahead on the Alabama Racer. Stay close.
VP Racing Fuels introduces Madditives, fuel additives developed by the mad scientists. Race fuel technology for your daily driver.
VP Racing Fuels and Additives are available at Green Oil Company of Oxford.
We build things that work the way you wish they would. Like a front-end loader you can detach from your seat. Or a mower deck you just drive over and cut through knee-deep grass no problem. Yep, we thought the same thing you did. That's why we build them this way. That's how we run. Nothing runs like a deer.
We have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away. You're in charge with the Tax Admiral. Call me now for your free emergency consultation.
Call 800-218-4908. That's 800-218-4908.
Welcome back to the show. No matter where you're watching, from Mobile in the south all the way up to Huntsville up north, this is the spot each and every week to find out what's happening in the world of motorsports right here in Alabama. I'm your host, Jim Jacobs. For folks here in the Anniston area where our studios are located and where we produce this show each week, the name Adam Stewart is synonymous with the flag stand at Talladega Short Track. Adam flagged events at the track for some 13 seasons before moving over to Green Valley Speedway just outside Glencoe, where he was the general manager of that track until it closed in 2012. At that time, Adam took his family and headed to Georgia, where he is now the competition director for the NeSmith Racing Series. Adam, thanks for your time.
Hey, good to be on here, Jim, and we appreciate the opportunity.
You know, for folks that aren't familiar with the NeSmith Racing Series, can we start this off with a little background? Why don't you tell us what the series is all about and how it got started?
Okay, NeSmith Chevrolet, and the NeSmith name comes from a Chevrolet dealer in a small South Georgia town, Claxton, Georgia, that's famous for making fruitcakes, but they also are home to the largest Chevrolet performance dealer as far as parts and transmissions, engines, and that thing, NeSmith Chevrolet there in Claxton, Georgia. Signed on as title sponsor. This all started 12 years ago. And actually 11 years the series has been running, and the series was brought about for affordable racing. You know, the price of engines and everything had gotten way out of sorts, and Mike Vaughn, the CEO and founder of the series, was a car owner and seen that and had the opportunity to run a Chevrolet Performance crate engine that nobody's ever heard of. And what that means, they call them a crate engine because they're delivered to your front door in a pallet crate. So Chevrolet Performance has put together several options in that crate engine package. They have a CT602, a 604, and now then the CT525, and they range in horsepower, and the CT525 utilizes all aluminum just like in the Corvette. The most popular one is the CT604 that is a 400 horsepower engine that a lot of the late model drivers are running, and the good thing it does is it levels out the engine competition. Everybody's got the same engine package, so we work on our race cars now, and it's really made the racing not only affordable but better as well.
Adam, one of the things we talk about on this show is the cost of racing and what it takes to get to the racetrack with a race car these days. You know, I know guys around the country in some of the major touring series that are spending upwards of 6 figures on racing engines. And now you're telling me that you've got a program that actually cuts cost. I think that's really great. Give us an idea of what we're talking about for one of these crate motors.
Yeah, it's the 602 is the cheapest, I hate to say cheap, the least cost of the crate engine packages, and you can get one of those delivered, next day delivery from NeSmith Chevrolet is $36.95. The 604 is $56.95, and the new CT525 is $72.95. And that's if you order that from NeSmith Chevrolet, they do free next day delivery anywhere in the Southeast. So, pretty good deal.
Now, folks, that is a high-performance racing engine for under $10,000. Adam, I can only imagine what effect this has on helping car counts increase at the tracks you guys are involved in.
Yeah, it's really helped. A lot of guys had gotten out of racing, and because of the cost, engine cost. If you look at short track racing, especially on the local level, most people are in some service industry. They have their own construction company or car repair shop or transmission shop or something like that, and it's tough for a guy to go out and spend. I mean, we're hearing figures now for a super late model engine that's $60,000, and that's one of those guys' whole income for the year. He can't go do that. This takes and got a lot of people back into racing that had cars setting, and even people that were racing still that gave them an avenue to go and get on a level playing field. We got 2 competition people that go around, our tech guys, and stay on top of the tech side of it. We have 2 Hoosier race tires. You got 2 compounds to choose from, so it narrows down the tire cost as well. So it was all about reeling in some of the cost and helping the local racetrack keep a late model division at their racetrack.
Obviously, the biggest reason for having you on the show this week, other than just catching up with an old friend, is to talk about the 3 nights of racing that you guys have on tap for this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here in Alabama. Give us a rundown on what fans are going to see at Talladega, Penton, and down at East Alabama.
Yeah, you know, a really good trip down through there. It all runs parallel with each other. We start at what I call home. It's where I started. I was a fan as a kid, being from Anniston there, and went for years and came from the grandstands to started in the concession stand at the go-kart track, and it's still home to me. Lynn Phillips and the Gurley family, you know, they're like family to me. And we kick off there on Friday night, and always, you don't go to the Hornet's Nest. They don't call it that for no reason. I mean, you go there, and about 99% of the time you're going to see a great race. We leave there Friday night. We go just down Highway 77 to it's an unknown place to a lot of people, but it's a great facility. It's in Lafayette, Alabama. You go down Highway 77, there's a flashing caution light at what they call Penton. Just through the flashing caution light, you take the next right and go out there to Penton Raceway. Bill and Debbie Edge, and they own the station, the little service station there. It was built in the 20s there on Highway 77. So we'll be there on Saturday night at Penton Raceway. Then we go to probably one of the most well-known racetracks in this part of the country, down to the Thomas family's East Alabama Motor Speedway off Highway 80 in Phoenix City. A lot of people just call it Phoenix City. They don't realize it's East Alabama Motor Speedway. So we go there and wind things up on Sunday with a 2,500 to win 50-lap race. And we've had some races at all 3 of those racetracks, and I'm going to tell you, they're going to be really good shows.
The competition is intense in the NeSmith Late Model Touring Series. Adam, tell the fans that are coming out this weekend some of the guys they should be watching out for that are running up front right now in your group.
my top two in points right now, I think there's 8 points separating first and second. And up until our last race, Scott Deadwilder, our points leader, had not finished outside the top 5 and was running second at Cochran Motor Speedway a couple weeks ago and had some parts failure and fell out of the race. But he and Corey Hedgecock, a young driver out of Loudon, Tennessee, they're fighting tooth and nail, 8 points apart. But there's a guy in third that's been really loyal to us, and we're going to his home, Chase Edge. His family owns Penton Raceway. He runs good at Talladega. He runs good at Phoenix City. It's a homecoming for him, so to speak. He's just a few points back in third, so those top 3 drivers are somebody to look for. Fourth place, we got a driver out of Crossville, Tennessee, Brandon Williams, who's been very consistent. First time hitting the road with us this year and done real well. Fifth place is a guy that really you don't have to say much about. He's a National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer, Ronnie Johnson, 60 years old, still getting it done. Everywhere we go, he's a threat. So he's somebody that probably won't be there until after hot laps are over, but you'll see that purple truck with the Chevrolet bow tie trailer pull in a little late in the evening, and he'll unload and be ready to go. Got a couple young drivers, Jason Britton out of Alex City, Alabama. Right now he's running for Rookie of the Year. He's doing well. Adam Galden, who runs there at Talladega, had run a good many races with us, and going to be a homecoming for him. So I think you're going to see a bunch of really good drivers visit all 3 of those racetracks.
You know, with this being a holiday weekend and racing being so much a part of it, I think it's really great that you guys have put something together where folks that are really anywhere within this region of the state of Alabama or West Georgia can come out to one or more of these nights of racing and see some really top flight racing and not have to break the bank getting the family out to the track.
Yeah, I mean, we try to, there again, we consider travel concerns because we have to do it as well, and a lot of our racers have businesses and families, and they like to get back home on Monday and get rested up for work on Tuesday, being the holiday on Monday. But like you say, I think I've done the math on it, and it's less than 300 miles between the 3 racetracks. So, you know, a lot of times when you hit the road and you go racing on the road, there's 4, 5, 6 hour trips, you know, from Friday to Saturday. We're looking at about 2 hours probably with a race car trailer between Talladega and Penton. You're about 45 minutes with a race car trailer from Penton on over to East Alabama. So really travel concerns are not bad. You get on the interstate, head home after Sunday night. So, you know, anybody's coming from anywhere, they can get there pretty reasonably.
Well, Adam, in our eyes here at the Alabama Racer, you guys have hit a home run with this one. 3 big nights of racing action at Talladega, Penton, and East Alabama, and hopefully folks can get out to one or more of these over the weekend. Thanks again for your time.
Hey, we appreciate it, and we invite everybody to come out and see us and support your local racetrack. Hey, they all need it, and we appreciate what you guys do and for having us on the show here.
You know, as we go to break, when we come back, we're going to show you what happens when you take a so-called fight and put it together with a legendary wrestling announcer's voice. You don't want to miss this. It is straight ahead when the Alabama Racer takes the white flag. We'll do that next.
Folks, the team at Bucks Island wants to be your boat dealer. We have a huge selection of bass boats, fishing boats, sport boats, and lots of pontoon boats. We have warehouse pricing on all those boats with a price match guarantee. Nobody beats our price. Choose your dealer carefully, just as carefully as you choose your boat. At Bucks Island, we'll treat you like we want to be treated. Come see us.
VP Racing Fuels introduces Madditives, fuel additives developed by the mad scientists. Race fuel technology for your daily driver.
VP Racing Fuels and Additives are available at Green Oil Company of Oxford. Daffron Auto Salvage in Pell City is where you'll find over 30 acres of automotive salvage, plus a warehouse full of quality parts for almost any need. Just call ahead and tell us what you're looking for. At Daffron Auto Salvage, you'll find it all. Engine parts, transmissions, rear ends, radiators, suspension, body parts, auto glass, even tires and wheels. You'll also get fast, friendly service. It's been that way since 1965. Don't pay too much for parts. Think used first. Daffron Auto Salvage, 793 Old Cold City Road in Pell City.
Welcome back to the Alabama Racer. As we begin our white flag segment, you know, I can't help but think back on all the times when growing up as an old school kind of racer myself, I can remember some of the traditional historic fights that have taken place as part of the sport that we all love. You know, who can forget the Allisons and Cale going at it at turn 3 after the last lap crash in the Daytona 500? And there have been many others as well. Well, this past Saturday night at Gateway, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series was in action. There had been a rain delay. The race had been postponed for, gosh, at least an hour. And, well, Spencer Gallagher and John West Townley wound up running into one another up in turn 1, and what followed will obviously go down as probably one of the most embarrassing moments as far as fights go in the world of NASCAR. And sometime this past week, somebody somewhere got the bright idea to get legendary WWE Hall of Fame announcer Jim Ross to actually call the action. What followed is priceless.
Turn the children away. It's not going to get pretty here. What the hell is this? There's a takedown on the concrete. They're rolling around like two old women. My God, it's like two trust fund babies. John Wesley Townley with a seat roll. Now he's got a front face lock. What's he doing here? Oh, my God. My God, it's a DDT, ladies and gentlemen. The DDT scores on the pavement. Let him go. He's got a family, for God's sakes. And they love chicken. My God, it's a slobber knocker. The Zaxby people are good people. The chicken man's trying to get a chicken wing on his opponent. Let me tell you one thing. You want to talk about toughness? You know who's tough out there? The damn concrete, not those two yahoos. They're grasping each other like they're going to the senior prom, my God.
Boy, you gotta love good old JR. Well, the digital dash in our Alabama Racer Simulator is telling me that I am on the chip when it comes to the time I'm allowed each week to come into your home to bring you the latest on racing around our state. That means we got to pull this baby in and call it another night. Now remember, each week you can watch the show. We debut at 8 p.m. Central Time right here at fnnnetwork.com. The show repeats itself a couple of times on Thursday evening. Then you can see it again 2 or 3 more times on Friday and Saturday over the weekend at the network site. Also, we post the show to YouTube, so go subscribe, and that way you'll know when we post episodes of the Alabama Racer and any other things we do here at FNN Network, that you can get a notice through the email and know to go right there and watch it whenever you like on demand. A lot of folks enjoy doing that. I gotta go. You know, I can't think of anything that is more American than racing, and I can't think of any type or group of people that support our nation more than the racers and the fans that go out and enjoy the action at the track each and every week. As we celebrate this July 4th holiday weekend, for all of us here at the Alabama Racer and the FNN Network, we salute you. Remember, as we leave you tonight, if you're not first, you're last.
VP Racing Fuels introduces Madditives, fuel additives developed by the mad scientists. Race fuel technology for your daily driver.
VP Racing Fuels and Additives are available at Green Oil Company of Oxford. Daffron Auto Salvage in Pell City is where you'll find over 30 acres of automotive salvage, plus a warehouse full of quality parts for almost any need. Just call ahead and tell us what you're looking for. At Daffron Auto Salvage, you'll find it all. Engine parts, transmissions, rear ends, radiators, suspension, body parts, auto glass, even tires and wheels. You'll also get fast, friendly service. It's been that way since 1965. Don't pay too much for parts. Think used first. Daffron Auto Salvage, 793 Old Cold City Road in Pell City.
Folks, the team at Bucks Island wants to be your boat dealer. We have a huge selection of bass boats, fishing boats, sport boats, and lots of pontoon boats. We have warehouse pricing on all those boats with a price match guarantee. Nobody beats our price. Choose your dealer carefully, just as carefully as you choose your boat. At Bucks Island, we'll treat you like we want to be treated. Come see us.